front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and six-shield general, fourth in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. March up. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to priest General Lahab.
Come on, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ, and Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, that Father, this is real. Will you watch over them? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you called for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they will follow the law, they doing it. You said under Yahushua they ought to love one another, and they doing it.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week. You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadarya teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer 5000 Kazak Moth, joined by Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, learn to speak in the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Qadash class, taught by Officer 1000 Katab. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Ironic.
You know the truth is the truth, that's all I know. Cry loud and spare not, you gon' get exposed. A few real niggas left, you not one of those. Real soldiers, we was born to stand 10 toes. If he ain't one West, that nigga not one of mine. He got a purple 12, me, I got a black 9. The truth is the wife of my youth, chopper my concubine. Had to die to get my rib, that bitch forever mine. You know the game, a bishop gotta be blameless. But GMS teaching niggas to be rapists. They screaming we snitch. When Jordan Morgan was killed by your brother, y'all ain't say shit. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs.
Hey, 100 deep, 100 shields on, that's 100 priests. 100 boots, that's 200 feet. Tongue like a sword when I fucking speak. Teach you how to fish instead of fucking leech. Stop selling drugs instead of trying to fuck with me. Knowledgeable, but I'm rude in my fucking speech. Life is about warfare, not no fucking peace. Big bitch, I cry loud when I fucking speak. Make them wait a year before they fuck with me. Turn a street nigga to a fucking priest. Cause a priest, and I promise you forever sleep.
Hey, shalom. How about Shemi Shabarakatham to the Akim? Yahweh Shamar Lathan by Shemi Hawashah to the Agwathian. This is another Lashawan Qadash class, holy language, holy tongue. I'm Officer 50 Ka'ar, holding this thing down. Today we're going to review the tenses. I'm going to put in some vocab words. That's pretty much it. You know, we're going to go back over the past tense, present tense, and I think we stopped there. So I'm going to start with the future tense and then just go back over the past and present. That way, you know, we'll really just get it all down. Also, the subject pronouns as well. Just review all that from last week. Then, like I said, the rest of the time, I'm going to just throw up vocab words that y'all could put in your notes, that you could just know now. You understand? So, per policy, though, we're going to start off writing down all the characters in the Paleo and also the Assyrian. So that's what I'm going to do first. tried to put it all down without looking, but I messed up. Yep. All right. Let's squeeze in my mistake. So we got Abba, Gada, Hawaza, Chataya. This is what I missed. Ya. Ka after the ya. I'm squeezing it in. You understand? Just be better than me. So Abba Gada Hawaza Chatayaka Lamana Sa'ai Pa Taza Kwara Shatha. Shatha. I said that like one word. Yup. Like I say every week, write it down 100 times. Write it down 100 times. Say the first 5. Repeat the first 5 times. You understand? And then move on to the next 5. Ta, ya. Can't believe I forgot ya. Ka, la, ma, na. All right, there go your ancient Paleo Hebrew. Understand? Shout out to y'all that's tuning in. Student G, Trooper Adam from Greenville, South Carolina. Shout out to you, brother. You be in a lot of Detroit classes. Sister Aisha Banam. Shout out to y'all, man. You understand? Because we got enemies that don't want us to know this. You understand? I know y'all know the white man don't want us to know our true culture. But it's, fake Israelites, man. Christians that don't want us to know the ancient Paleo Hebrew, man. I understand. If you ain't been paying attention to classes this week with the generals and all that, Captain Qadash brought out the history of how these fake Israelites came about. And one of the things that started to split, or one of the things that was brought to the people who wanted to split off from the school, was leaving alone this ancient Paleo Hebrew, man. They said, stop saying the name of the Most High, you understand, which we know is Yahweh, and our Lord Yahushua, our King Yahushua. They said, stop saying that, and then stop learning this ancient Paleo Hebrew. So what we doing here, man, it's not a small thing. Don't neglect this Hebrew, man, because this is a part of your culture just as much as rocking studs and fringes. It's not a commandment. I mean, I say that, but it's your culture. You understand? Let me say this is as much as part of your culture as having multiple wives, brother. Now, if I say it like that, you understand? You ain't gotta have multiple wives, but a lot of you niggas choose to. It is your culture. Yeah. And as you could tell, I've been slacking on my Assyrian, but hold on. That's why. That is. Forgot how that looked. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Then we got the alternate endings for the Assyrian, right? Ka is Ka, Mana, and Tazah, I believe. Ka, yup. Mana, Pa, and Tazah. I almost had them all right. Ma, na. All right. That's your Assyrian. Even though it's bastardized, it is very important to know it. Like I say every week, you go look up the Hebrew or you look at the Strong's Concordance. This is what it is in. It's in the Assyrian Hebrew, so no. No. And your alternate endings, Ka, Ma, Na, Pa, and Tazah is your alternate endings. Remember, these are the endings you're going to use at the end of a word. If you see it like this at the end of a word, it's enough. It looks like wa if it would be at the beginning of the word, but at the end of it, the ending would be na. Ma just look like a funny square. Ka changes as well, similar to da if you're not, when it's at the end, it's ka. Pa and Tazah. These are all the endings you will use for those characters. All right, get it down, study it. Like I said, man, our enemies don't want us to know this stuff, man. Y'all got it, I'm going to erase it. So yeah, the best way you can do is studying it, writing it down, saying it, writing it down 100 times, saying it in fives. Abagadaha, Abagadaha. Say it 5 times, 10 times. Then move on to the next 5 till you got the first 5 down. Wazakataya, Wazakataya. Now you got Abagadaha, Wazakataya. Right? Then you move on and do it like that by 5s. And I think, I think you end up with like Rashata at the last 5. So it turns into like 8. But, it's just like your ABCs, man. Had to say it, sing the song. Most people can't even say they damn ABCs without singing a song. Try saying your ABCs without singing a song. So get the memory of it down, write it down. First order of business, the subject pronouns. If you wasn't here last week or watched last week's class, we're going to go over it. And then we're going to go over the tenses, which you use these subject pronouns when using verbs. So when using verbs, you would use these subject pronouns to show the subject, who's doing what, and then the tenses get into when that who is doing the verb. Hopefully that didn't make it complicated, but we're going to get it done. All right. First, we have I or I am. Which is anya. Anya. Write that down. In Hebrew, na, ya. And you see, those are connected to create the anya. You is a tha. Tha. What? Select it. She is Haya. We knock Noah. Knock knock Noah. I'll put in the sounds of them. So you different song. So you or you all, masculine, plural, is it's like it, a thumb. You / y'all feminine, plural, is a thun. They, masculine, plural, is hum. They, feminine, plural, is han. All right, so I am is anya. You is atha. He is hawa'a. She is haya'a. Anak Noah. So like it, we is Anak Noah. Put more arc in that boy. All right. You, masculine plural, you will say a thumb. A thumb. You feminine plural is a thun. They masculine plural is hum. They feminine plural. I'm sorry, they masculine plural is hum. They feminine plural is hun. And let's not neglect that Assyrian. Let's write it all out. Let's write out the Assyrian. Yeah, that's right. Anak Noah. I be having to confirm that Assyrian. I ain't gonna lie to you. A thumb, a thun. There it is. There it is. And the ancient Paleo Hebrew and the Assyrian. Get it down. Write it down. These are your subject pronouns. All right. Since we got that down, let me see if I could just. I'm gonna leave this up here because we are gonna be using it. Or are we? No, I don't need to. I don't think. I'm gonna just leave it up there. Yeah. All right. So let's do future tense. We're gonna use the verb Nathan, which means to give. To give, right? That's a verb we're gonna use. Now, first subject is I or I am, right? Which is anya. Rule is add see, can y'all see that? That's not too small, right? You're gonna add at the beginning of the verb. Yeah. Add the at the beginning. So it would be Anya. Let's keep it color coded. Let's see. Subject pronoun. Anya. Anya Nathan. So I am giving or going to give, right? The going would be the going would be contextual, right? You would know because of the tense. It's something that you're going to do, right? It's future tense. We could write that out in the Hebrew. Anya. All right, so the rule or the subject is I or I am. In the future tense, the rule for that is add a at the beginning. So that would look like anya, natha. Let me know if this color coordination is actually even helping. Am I wasting my time or is it helpful? Hey, shout out to my red for checking in. I think it's helpful. I'm gonna keep doing it. All right. Next, we have next subject. We have a th, which is you, right? Rule. Add. You would add th at the beginning. All right? Example. It would be a Nathan. In the Hebrew, a th. I look too much like an X and I keep doing it. Better. A Nathan. Next, subject, we have he, right? Masculine, which is hawa'a. Which is he, rule, and yeah, so am I writing today? Add ya at the beginning. And that looks like Hawa'a Ya Nathan. Hey, shalom, sis. The water for checking in. The Ashwa Kwa. And that looks like and do yourself a favor and write the I'm gonna go back and write the Assyrian, but beat me to it. Hawa'a Ya Nathan. Right? He will give. Right? Next we have she. So lucky. All right, next. Is she, which is Haya'a. It's the same as you, so add a th. So like I had to confirm with my notes. But yeah, it's the same as you. So she, Haya'a, Thanathan. right? Same rule as when you use a thun. The way it's differentiated is the subject pronoun you use, right? A and then you use haya'ah. But the rule is the same. So haya'ah, thunathan, it would be she will give. And then you have a thunathan, which is you will give, right? For the sake of my space, y'all write that out in the Hebrew and the Assyrian Hebrew. Use your notes. You understand? You know, we not just in here watching me, right? So y'all got y'all notes. Go ahead, write that out yourselves in the Hebrew, Paleo, and Assyrian. Because then I'm going to erase this for more space. I hate when the board looks cluttered, crammed. It bothers me. So I'm going to leave it up there for a couple more seconds. All right. Next, we have or anak and nawa, right? Anak. I don't like how that look. Anak nawa. And the rule for that, whether masculine or feminine, right? You would add a na at the beginning. Na. So you got a knock. No wa. Na Nathan. It's a full-time job juggling these damn markers. So a knock, right? A knock, Noah. Na. Anak Noah Nanathan. And that may sound crazy or sound weird, you know, the na, but you see a lot of those, honestly. When you're reading the Torah, you see a lot of the same characters after one another. And you, once you understand all these subject pronouns, your prefixes, your suffixes, you add a little, you sprinkle a little vocabulary in there. You start to see, you know, okay, that's a subject pronoun. Okay, that's a possessive adjective. You know what I mean, or a prefix. You know, so that's the rule for we. For a thumb, you masculine plural, right? A thumb. I feel like that's getting crowded. A thumb, you will add a th. Similar to you, similar to she, right? Same rule. You add a th. Example, a thumb, th. Thumb. A thumb, thun, a thun. Write that out. A thun, thun, a thumb. So like it. A thumb, tha, na thun. Right? Which is you or you all, right? y'all will give. Next subject. I don't. Salaki. My mistake. You add a what at the end as well, Salaki. Glad I caught that. So, Nathan Wa. All right, let's go back over to Shalakia. So the subject, a thumb, which is y'all, you all masculine, right? Is add a th at the beginning and add wa at the end. So a thumb, tha, nathan wa is the proper rule. A thumb, tha, nathan wa. Now the feminine version, which is a thun, is the same. So add a th at the beginning and a wa at the end. It's a thun. Let's just take this off, right? For the sake of my board, I'm not going to write it twice, but you go ahead and write it down twice. Write down subject, a thun, right? Rule is the same. Know what I mean? Change that character. A thun, a thun. Same exact rule. Only difference is the subject pronoun. A thun and a thumb have the same exact rule. Nope, I lost Slovakia. I looked at that wrong again. Write better notes than me. All right, Slovakia. Differences is a na at the end. All right, Slovakia. So tha, add a na. All right, Salakia, forgive me. Let's try this one more time. A thun, you add tha at the beginning, add na at the end. So a thun, tha, a thun, na. Salakia again. So A thumb, the difference was wa at the end. A thun, the difference is na at the end. Look, third time's a charm. Salaki. Next subject is they or ham, right? They rule is add a ya at the beginning and a wa. Add a ya at the end, at the beginning and a wa at the end. This time I double checked my notes. So lucky if I mess your notes up. All right, so add a ya at the beginning, right? Ham Yanathan wa. So ham is they masculine plural, right? Add ya at the beginning and a wa at the end. So it's ham ya nathanwa. Next you got the feminine version. Add the at the beginning. Add the at the beginning and na at the end. So we got han, the, Nathan, na. All right. For your notes and your practice, write it down in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, also the Assyrian. I know I said we were gonna go over the present and past tense again, so under Slovakia, bear with me. Let me see. All right, so what I pulled up is last week's class, so I don't have to write it all down again. So just to go over it though, just a quick recap of last week. This is your present tense I got up here, right? So all right, boom, look. Present tense we use the root word shamara, which means watch. All right, and you see over here in the left corner, you have the rule and an example. So anya was used, and the rule for anya, or I, right? I am, is add a y in between the first and second letter. So it would be shawamar, right? Anyan, ayah, Salakia, shawamar, which is I am watching, right? Feminine version, or for haya'ah, which is she, the rule would be add a y in between, then add a at the end. So haya'ah shawamara, right? He or we would be the rule for we is add y in between the first and second letter and a yam at the end. Example of that would be anak nawa shawamariam, right? And if you could understand that, like these rules are consistent with all verbs. So pick any verb, you can just plug these rules in, and it's consistent, right? Hawa'a is the same as I, right? Hawa I, you just add a what in between the first and second character. Shawa Mar. He is watching is Hawa I, Shawa Mar. And you got Han. Han is they, feminine. Talking about a group of sisters, right? So Han, Shawa Mar Wath is the rule. Which is, if you look down, it's the same as Athan, which is y'all, right? Feminine. Y'all feminine. Or you all. The rule is the same. Add a Y in between the first and second character. Add a Wath at the end. Athan Shawamar Wath. Right? And they masculine is the same as we, right? So Ham Shawamar Yam. Same rule. Same rule apply also with a thumb, which is y'all masculine. Shawamar Yam. I think I did. Oh, no, here we go. Well, yeah, go back. Y'all go back and watch this class if you want the notes. If I'm moving on too fast. All right, here we got the past tense, right? We use the verb lamad or learn. All right. So rule for anya, add thaya at the end. So it's I learned, it's anya, lamad, thaya. Subject atha, which is you, right? But for both masculine and feminine, it would be add atha at the end. Atha, lamad, tha. For we, you would add nawa at the end. So anak nawa, lamad nawa is we learned. A thumb, add thumb at the end. A thumb, lamad thumb. And that's you all. So masculine plural, a thun, feminine plural. You add thun at the end. So it's a thun, lamad, thun. Y'all learned, right? Ham, add wa at the end, masculine and feminine. Ham, lamad wa, han, lamad wa. Same rule applies for both masculine and feminine. When you're saying they, right? So that's a recap and a recap review, subject pronouns, tenses, all that important stuff. I'm going to go ahead and erase this, and I'm gonna just add vocabulary starting with A words, and just go from there. This might be a thing I'm gonna do from now on, and just go through the entire vocabulary that I got. All right. Yeah, so I'm just starting in the A's. I'm gonna just, write all these down. Y'all, I'll say write them down, man. These is good words to learn in the Hebrew. Um, just so it's not completely silent all the way through. I'm gonna stop, give my shoulder a rest, and just say them out loud, right? Abel is your call. Your call. And while I'm saying them, I can show the pronunciation as well. Your call. Above is my ill. My ill accident. Asawan. Asawan. I messed that up. Like yeah. It's Asawan. Asawan. Address is Kathabath. Kathabath. Advice is Atazah. Atazah. All right. All right. Where we stop at? Address? No, we stop at advice. Afraid is Picard. Huh? After is Akar. Akahar. Against is Nagad. Nagad. Salakia. Nagad. Against. Age is Gaal. Gayal. Salakia. Gayal. Cow. All right is Basadar. Alone is Labad. All right. We stopped at alone, so we got already, which is Kabar. Kabar. Arthur is Mazabak. Make sure you get that on there. You know what I'm saying? Yad is always thumb yad. Among is bayan. Bayan. Ancient. Also ancestral. I really didn't feel like fitting that in there. I'm sorry. Ancient and ancestral is Zaquan. Zaquan. All right. I'm gonna try to get through all these, man. I'm gonna try to write all these A's down. I think you should get them down. This would be a good way to build your vocabulary up. You know what I'm saying? right? You know what? I meant to write ancestral right here. Well, it's another word for ancient in the Hebrew. So it's is Zaquan and Athayak as well. Thayak or Thaqua, Yak, Ithayak, yeah, Ithayak, yeah, Ithayak, and is wa, right? That's one of our prefixes, right? You see wa at the beginning of a word, it's and. I think that's pretty simple. Then you have angel, which is Malak. Malak. Anointed is Mashayak, right? Like Yahweh Shah, Hamashiach. Ha is the, right? One of our prefixes, Ha, Mashiach. The anointed. No, see, I messed up. So I can. Anointed is Mashayak. Anoint is Mashak. Answer is Aina. Appoint is Wa'id. Got a couple more, couple handful. All right, last few. We got approach. It's Nagash. Nagash. Arise is Quam. Around, you got Sabayab. Sabayab. Arrange is Sadar. Sadar. Artist. Tazar-yar. 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 Ka, or as, is ka, one of our prefixes, right? Ka, you see ka in front of a root word, is as. Ascend is Ilah. Ax is Sha'al. Sha'al. Atonement, day of, Yawam Kaparwar. Kapawar. Yawam Kapawaryar. So like it. Kapar War. Kapawar. All right. And those are the A words. Can you see that up there? I guess next week we'll do B. And we'll just go from there. I think that's a great way to end every class. You know, if we can get through a whole letter of vocab words, you know, and just put it down in your notes. You know. All right, with that being said, I'm going to close out. We went over the pretenses. So like you went over the tenses of the verbs. Your past tense, present tense, future tense. Reviewed those, reviewed the subject pronouns. Got some vocab done, so your notes should be full. Again, study, get that Hebrew down. Like I started this class, this is important, man. Our enemies don't want to know this, man. Our enemies don't want us praying in the Hebrew, don't want us knowing this Hebrew, man. You know what I mean? This is our culture. So, the water for tuning in. How about Shemi Hawashabarakathum to the Akim? Hawashamar Elathan Bahashemi Hawashah to the Akwathim. The water for tuning in. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West.